Our next speaker is my colleague in the press freedom world, Vogus. Caitlin is Deputy Director of Freedom of the Press Foundation, the organization co-sponsoring this event with Defending Rights and Dissent. And I just want to say a lot of controversial press freedom issues where a lot of people should be speaking out. It's oftentimes just DRAD and Freedom of the Press Foundation out here. No shade on our other colleagues, but again and again, I know FPF stands with us in some of the most controversial but most important press freedom issues of our times.
Thanks, Chip, and thank you so much for organizing tonight's vigil. Thank you to the representatives for their remarks as well. We're here, of course, tonight to mourn the journalists who have been killed in Gaza, but we're also here to demand that our government act to protect journalists who are bravely and heroically covering war in Gaza. Protecting journalists matters not only because all civilian life should be protected during wartime. It matters because protecting journalists also protects the world's right to know about what's happening in Gaza. The Biden administration has said that it doesn't want to see journalists being killed. And if that's true, then it needs to use its influence with Israel to demand that journalists in Gaza can safely document the war. The U.S. must demand that Israel renounce the indiscriminate and deliberate killing of journalists. It must demand that Israel promptly and thoroughly investigate attacks on journalists. Right. And if it finds that particular individuals or entities are responsible, those people must be held accountable. The U.S. must demand that Israel allow international journalists to enter Gaza, independent of the Israeli military, so that they too can witness and report about the war from the ground. Because the American public and the world's ability to know what happens there depends on access by journalists. Too many journalists have already been killed, and too many have been shut out of Gaza. The whole world is watching Gaza right now, but that's because we have journalists who are our eyes and our ears and can tell us what's happening. If the Biden administration cares about press freedom, it must protect it now in Gaza, and it should start with protecting journalists' lives. Thanks.
Yay, that's right.
Thank you so much.